Yo, 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 and welcome to Sticks and Stones, the podcast where we bring serious cigar smokers together with serious deal makers. This is episode 6, and tonight, we're talking about sustainability. So, tonight, first of all, tonight is a Buffalo Trace type of night. So, I've got the Buffalo Trace cigar, I've got the Buffalo Trace bottle. We're gonna hit that a little bit later. So I have my friends here from Texas Solar,
True.
and we're talking about sustainability. Mm-hmm. So that's guys, that's the newest buzzword, sustainability. Everybody's throwing it around, everybody's using it, but I truly believe that solar, geothermal, all of this stuff really is sustainable energy, and it's a sustainable source. So I want you guys to fill us in, talk about this a little bit.
Sure. Hey, I'm David Kiss with True Texas Solar, and you'll hear from my partner in crime, Rob, real soon. I'm just going to do a little quick history intro of the company, and Rob is an engineer's engineer and architects a lot of our systems for homes, and again, looks at basically the concept and that we like to do is it's just something for the customer and just particularly for their property. But anyway, so more about True Texas Solar. Started out as a roofing company, small family company. The proprietor, Josh, really believed in sustainability as well and the solar model. And with roofing, a lot of times you're tearing a roof off. You might as well, if somebody wants it, it's the perfect time to look at a solar plan and solar hardware. Exactly. So we started doing solar some years ago. I think the thing, I am definitely the new guy, but I dove right in because I really love the concept when I met Rob and we talked about it. So I am the new person on the sales team. And I think the key for me, and that we're finding with a lot of people, is we kind of have a saying, put an energy backup plan in place to keep your family safe. We believe in solar, but we also do work with the natural gas connected generators like Generac and other companies. We have service plans for those, and we do install them. We believe in that, but we also think solar is really great because even when the power totally goes down in some sort of natural event, you're not just feeding your backup batteries, you are not losing any sustainability at all. Mm-hmm. Whether it's the winter, the summer, you're going to have the sun out there feeding your system. We can get into it a little bit later. There's these amazing apps that are right on smartphones for all the different solutions, and people can map out what exactly do they want to keep running when it's just normal time. They can set up a preset plan and save it for when there's some sort of power outage, and they can just set that plan and it'll turn off certain appliances at certain times.
That's cool.
And a lot of people don't know about that part of it. There is, if you're let's just say if you're a bit of a geek, there is you can just, and literally using your smartphone, which is, it's just amazing the apps that are out there for everything. Finance.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's things like that can be done, and everything is for either Android or Apple. Mm-hmm. So that part got me excited, kind of the tech geeky part of it. And again, for the backup part of it, some people like a plan where it's just, and again, this is where Rob comes in. We take a look at the home, we take a look at the roof line, we take a look at the angle of the roof, we take a look at their southern exposure, we call it a radiance. And that's where I'm going to jump into the team a little bit. We really don't use any subs. We really, our owner, Josh, wanted to have just a pure company with full employees. So we have a master, awesome. Yeah. So we have a master certified electrician fully, and we have another guy who's about to have their certification. We have the roof guys who also know how to do all the installation and construction. Mm-hmm. And then we have a meteorologist on staff who actually can look. Yeah, they actually, and Rob wanted that, and Rob loves it, and Josh wanted it as the owner. And so we actually have that meteorologist who can look at the home as well and basically figure out, again, your goal is to get, obviously, the sun hitting 100% if you can of those panels at all time.
Right.
So and the cool thing is there's the Google Earth app and like that. So we can actually just shoot down, look at the whole property and the roof line, and then this is where Rob comes in. He can map out a whole plan, meet with the homeowner, and talk about the different solutions we have. One other quick thing that is real exciting is that Houston has the deregulation when it comes to retailers for energy plans. So we have competition. And so we can actually look at the best companies who have, people call it the buyback, but I always like to say it's the sell back. You know, you're the homeowner, you get to sell back your energy
Right, right.
to the grid and to the CenterPoint and the main providers. So that's another cool thing is that Rob's really good at that. He knows the top companies when it comes to, rates, kilowatt hour rates and stuff like that.
So
So
you guys are not only sustainable, but you're literally freaking vertically integrated.
Yes.
You guys got everything in one under one roof.
Yes.
yes,
No pun intended.
right.
Wow, that's really cool.
Rob, you want to jump in there? Pardon me, Angelo. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So my history with the solar industry was I actually, for a long time, wanted solar on my house, and things didn't fall in line until about 4 or 5 years ago, kind of around COVID was happening.
Okay.
And I went ahead
A
and
lot of people got into projects
yeah,
during COVID.
and I made the
That's
investment
true.
of doing solar. So I was a solar user before I got into the industry, and I was a believer from first. And I just wanted solar power. I just wanted to be able to live off my own power plant on my
Right.
home. And my timing was pretty good. I was able to make in just less than 5 years. I was able to make back my investment.
Wow.
Yeah, I had some luck in getting very good buyback plans, and there's a little bit the market's a little bit tougher because we have more solar users, but I'm seeing a lot of people still coming back with zero on their electric bill. And
Okay.
so a couple years ago I got the opportunity to join this firm that was I I was impressed by the way they did business. They were impressed by the way I did engineering work, did
Yeah.
business.
You are pretty smart, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and it was a match, perfect match for us, and it really is an effective team. You know, we teamwork just every project that gets put into it. And
Okay.
one thing that I kind of brought to the industry in the last year was the idea that solar does not have to be on your roof. We could construct a pergola, a picnic area, a carport, a
That's pretty
hot
cool.
tub cover that it will be made of solar panels and provide the power you need for your home.
Hmm.
We pair that with batteries. The thing about batteries is that they were not affordable when I got solar just a few years ago.
Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit. Like,
Yes.
so just explain this for anyone listening. What are the batteries? What are they used for? Because I don't think a lot of people understand like how the whole solar thing works. So break that down for us, Rob.
Okay. So basically, a basic solar system like I got when I first got into it is just solar panels on the house and you generate electricity. That electricity goes through an inverter, and from the inverter, it goes directly into the grid. What you
Hmm.
use in your house comes directly out of the grid. And so your meter, now that we're in the 21st century, we have smart meters
Right.
and those digital meters, it measures what goes in and what goes out, sends that to the electric company, and the electric company, based on that, pays you what they owe you. Now, a battery acts as a waypoint between the grid and your solar panels and your
So
inverter.
let's just say in the beginning when
Yeah,
all this shit was created, right?
yeah,
People put panels on the roof
yep,
because at the time that was the only place they knew, where to put them.
yep.
And you got some solar rays on there, you got some sun rays hitting those
Mhm.
panels, and they were generating electricity.
Yes.
So then the electricity was going down into your, was it going into the meter? Was it going directly into your sub panel, or was
It
it
was
going
going into
directly
the
into like,
meter and then into the grid.
okay,
Yeah,
into the power grid?
yes, the power grid.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and
And then
so it did not go directly to your homes. For instance, I got hit with this before I was in the solar industry. I got hit in the winter storm,
oh
and
wow.
they shut off the grid, and I couldn't even put electricity into the grid. And that what
Whoa.
they shut off the connection between my home and the grid was shut down because they didn't. People were working on power lines. They couldn't have that electricity from my house in the grid.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put a battery, the battery is the waypoint, and the electricity stops at the battery first, and it goes
Okay.
from the battery directly into the home. And if it
Okay.
doesn't go into the home, it goes into the battery for storage. And if the
Right.
battery's full and you still have extra power, then that gets sold back to the
Into
grid.
the grid. Got
Yes,
it. But then from the battery, you can also power your home from the energy out of that battery, right?
correct. Absolutely.
Okay.
And so that's your backup power. In a power outage, if you have a battery, you're not lost. You're still working. And and if we size it correctly, it's as good as having a generator. We only need it to sustain your house for a few hours because
Mm-hmm.
once the sun comes back out, you're getting power again from the sunlight. And
Right. That's a good point. Now, let me ask you this. Real talk.
yes,
How many panels do you need to let's just say that I wanted to go completely off the grid,
okay.
right? How many panels would I need to run let's just say a 3-bedroom house?
Okay. So the process that we do is we take a look, we talk, we really, the best way to do it is to look at your phone bill and see how much usage you have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. An adult living by themselves doesn't use as much power as a family with 3 teenagers.
Yeah. So let's just say my normal utility bill, the normal electric bill, it's like 2,200 kilowatt hours.
Okay. 2,200 kilowatt hours. That's a pretty good sized bill there, my friend.
Believe me, I know.
And so what
I
we,
want to kill my kids.
yeah, yeah, but the power used to burn the bodies is atrocious.
Yeah.
You're going to have a very
Yeah.
high electric bill after
Yeah.
that. So, no, what we do is we use our software to kind
Uh-huh.
of get an idea of how many panels you really need.
Yeah.
We model it over the year. David mentioned irradiance. We take a look at the sun track over your home throughout
Mm-hmm.
the year and see what angle gives the best angle, which roof face gives the best angle. If we build a pergola or a bed, which way do we
So
aim it to
that's a
give you the best?
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Let's just say that somebody in America is looking for solar panels, right?
Yes.
And they go to a contractor, they go to a provider
Hmm.
that doesn't have a meteorologist on staff, that
Yeah.
doesn't have engineers on staff, right?
Yeah.
What is the probability that somebody, I'm not going to say doesn't know what they're doing, but they're not as astute?
Hmm.
What are the chances that they're going to put some panels up on a roof somewhere and they are not, let's just say they're not going to get optimal output? What are the chances?
That's pretty high because a lot of people get the knock on the door, buy solar, buy solar,
Yeah.
buy solar. So
That's why I'm asking you that question.
those folks, they do have some software that they use to
Mm-hmm.
plan things out, and they do know the basic. South
Mm-hmm.
is good, west is not as good, east is not as good, north is bad. They know that,
Mm-hmm.
and so they'll do their best, but they're not going to get the level of service that they're going to get out of a place like True Texas Solar, where you have
So there's
someone
a
like
good
myself,
chance.
someone like David,
Yeah.
meteorologist, to plan out the best system possible.
Right.
And we are experts in using the software and in real life what it's really like when you go beyond the software.
Okay, so let's just say for a 2,200 kilowatt house, right? Roughly, just a rough idea. How many panels do you need on the roof, and then like how big of a battery system do you need?
Okay, and that's still a very hard. It's still hard
Roughly, not
to
we
say.
don't we
So
don't
I'm
need.
going to
Yeah,
say roughly you're going to need an 18 kilowatt, so between 30 and 35 panels, and then you're going
that
to
doesn't sound like a lot.
no. But with the battery, we use the battery storage to leverage
Yeah,
the power usage. With the battery, you
right,
don't need as many panels to get a full 100%
right, because
offset.
the battery is storing that energy for
Yes,
whenever the house needs it, and
correct.
then when the sun is not blaring on the panels, it's
Mhm.
using the battery's stored energy, and
Yeah.
then when the sun does come out, we're going back to using the panel source.
Yes, absolutely.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that are, what they're doing now is they're using their battery in conjunction with the nights and weekends plan from their power
Yeah.
provider. And what they do is Um, they'll live off their battery and their panels during the day, and they'll keep that, and then in the evening between 6 and 9, between when the sun goes down and the free nights and weekends pops up, they're just
Mhm.
living off their battery for a couple hours. Then 9 p.m., that nights and weekends plan pops up. Boom, they use that free power to charge their batteries. And
That's pretty smart.
yes, and so we've got a lot of customers who've been doing this just to
Mhm.
they feel more comfortable with this than trying to aim for the right buyback plan, and they
Mhm.
feel much more comfortable with this. And for a long time, I thought that the power companies were going to wise up to it and cut it off. We've been going on 2 years that we've been doing this type of system.
Really?
Just a few months ago, I realized those power companies are
Mhm.
fine with it, because what they're doing is they're taking the excess power from
And
our
from the panels.
customers
Right.
during the day, and they're selling it. They get it for zero, and they're selling
Right.
it, yeah, at a
I
huge,
was just about to say that's free marketable energy that they're
yes,
reselling to other people.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they are making money too,
Mhm.
and they're not having to do anything about it.
And the
Yeah,
more people that get solar, they're making a lot of money.
yes,
Yeah, I wanted to jump just a little bit about the pergola. Some people out in your audience might not know that terminology quite as well. It's basically a covered porch. I mean, we do some real construction, and so
Mhm.
it's not just dead space. If somebody, we realize it might be where they don't want to cut down, let's just say there's a lot of great trees and such, they might want to just trim the trees back, and then our meteorologist will look at all that, to
Mhm.
make sure they're getting the irradiance. But if they want to keep a certain look for the backyard or the house, the pergola is great because you basically build this nice looking covered porch where you're having social time underneath it and
Yeah, the
staying,
pergola is a great
and then
idea.
the panels are on top, and they can be run. You're setting up your inverters, you're setting up the flow, and so so it also aesthetically looks pretty good with that for the home.
Right.
And
Right.
it's just based on what a person needs. Yeah.
And they're not going on your roof. They're
Right.
going on this
yes.
external structure. Now let me ask
Yeah.
you this. Can you, like, let's just say let's say you're big balling and you got a big ass house, right?
Mhm.
Can you do the panels on the house and a pergola?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, you guys know that I'm a commercial real estate broker, right? And I,
Yes.
I do commercial real estate exclusively. And I have represented industrial properties that had panels, lots of panels on
Yes.
the roofs. Tell us about that. Like, tell us about the commercial application for solar.
Yeah, and we do a lot of commercial work with a lot of commercial customers. And one thing we found is that we've been trying to work with some of the local corner marks
Mm-hmm.
that if power outage happens, we don't think about it, but we do it. Where's the first place people go? They go to the corner market to go get ice.
True.
Those people, the corner market that has power in a major power outage after a hurricane or after a
Mm-hmm.
winter storm, we've gotten the numbers back. 30 times the daily sales that they normally take in if they have power during a power outage.
Yeah.
So they've done the math. That's in their best interest to be sustainable. Plus, the
Okay.
fact that we can provide them cheaper electricity than what they're paying, because they're paying a lot. They are
Yeah.
paying a lot.
And let's remember those corner stores are gas stations 9 times out of 10. So they're also able to keep that going because there are going to be a lot of people who have the smaller generators. God bless them. That's anything that can help get some air conditioning in the house.
Sure.
And so, yeah, it helps that part of the business as well if they can provide the gas pumps.
Now, let me ask you this. What commercial applications do you guys see for solar? I mean, the convenience stores, yep, I get that. The service stations, I get that. What about manufacturing? What about warehousing?
Manufacturing is definitely manufacturing. And I was going to bring up auto body shops, auto
Mm-hmm.
shop.
Mm-hmm.
Those use a lot of power. They have to. There's no way around it. A
Yeah.
lot of what you're paying to those auto shops is paying their
Yeah.
electric bill.
Yeah.
Because
The frame machine and yeah, all that stuff.
yeah, absolutely. So if they can use solar on their facility to cut back on those bills,
Mm-hmm.
they're making a bit more money to, and they can either put it in their own pocket or pass it on to their customers. And I don't blame them for whichever choice they choose.
Right, exactly. So that brings me to the next question. Real talk.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be precise numbers. Give me a percentage. What can you save, if done right, going with a solar system?
Usually the payback period is about 12 years. Now, if you're
Mhm.
like me and you get lucky and you have a great confluence of events, it may be as low as 4 or 5 years. That's the first answer. The You usually get your return starting at 12 years. The lifetime of the batteries are stated at 15 years. It's going to be longer. The
Mhm.
first batteries to hit the market, they hit 15 years ago. They're still running strong.
Right, right.
Panels go 25 to 25 years.
Mhm.
So I'm going to say you're going to save at least 20 to 30%, up to 50% over time, and you will
Wow.
more than break even.
So not only are you saving 20 to 30% on your bill,
Yes,
but you're also using a sustainable energy
correct.
and you're storing energy
You have backup
in the
power.
event backup power. Right. So like let's just say, shit goes sideways really bad and there's no natural gas or something
Mhm.
happens to the natural gas, the LNG plant or whatever you got running, you're up what creek without a paddle, right? So but if you got one of these systems, now you're feeding off of the batteries. And then when the sun comes out again, which
Yeah,
inevitably it's going to, and if not, then we all got bigger problems than
yeah.
our energy bill.
Let's
So
say
like
we find ourselves in the Walking Dead universe.
he did perfect example. Okay.
You've got a year before all that gasoline goes bad. I don't know how
Mhm.
they always manage to find a car with gasoline in it that's been
Yeah.
there 5
Yeah.
years, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
let's
Always.
drive to Georgia.
There's nobody in existence, but yet there's cars that run.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely. But one thing they did show us at several places is they did get solar and they did get batteries
Mm-hmm.
to power those homes.
Mm-hmm.
So the electricity, solar and local windmills in the zombie apocalypse, that's how
Yeah.
they're going to power their
Yeah. So that's the
homes.
way to go. That's the way to
Yeah.
go.
And let's think about EVs now, a lot more common. And there are many a person who loves having the charger at their home, and they also have some solar going on, and that can be a big help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I ask people if they want to drive for free. And if you've got an EV charger in your home, you're driving
Mm-hmm.
an electric vehicle, why
Mm-hmm.
not put panels and get yourself some free driving?
Now, what would you guys recommend? Let's just say, let's take it from elementary, right? I know
Okay,
nothing about solar.
fair enough.
What is the recommended system to go with? Panels, batteries? Is there a recommendation? Are there multiple manufacturers?
I have to be an engineer about it. And
Hey,
that's
come
one
on.
thing I tell my customers is one advantage for them of dealing with an engineer is
Mm-hmm.
I have trouble lying about technical stuff. I just can't do it. I have to
Mm-hmm.
give them the best. So one of these deals, it matters. So if you have a smaller system, well, first of all, most of what we've been selling is the REC panels made here in America,
Love that.
450 watts per panel. We also have mission panels made in San Antonio, and those, also 450 watts. So I'm going to tell you to go with the 450 watt panel, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much the largest on the market. I think we got 480s coming out soon, though.
Okay.
And then as far as the battery, if you have a smaller system, I would pair it with the Tesla Powerwall 3, which we do
Okay.
sell.
Okay.
And that includes the inverter inside the battery so that it has enough power for a smaller system so you get that standalone. Now,
Okay.
so for what you're talking about, a 35 panel home, I would get what are we call micro inverters, which are small boxes that are each panel has its own inverter box. And
Mm-hmm.
so if one panel goes out, the rest are still working. On if you use a Tesla Powerwall inverter, where we call it single string, it's like a set of Christmas lights. One
Uh-huh.
panel goes out, you lose the whole thing.
Right. Right.
You lose the whole thing. So we use Enphase inverters, micro
Uh-huh.
inverters. Those are made in Arlington, Texas. They moved their factory from India So Arlington, Texas.
Love that.
All their professionals moved here from India,
Mhm.
and they hired locals to work the assembly line. I've toured the assembly line. It's amazing. It's fantastic work. So I would take that and then I would pair it with a EcoFlow or a Franklin battery suite.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
Franklin, yeah, Franklin batteries pair very well with that setup.
So let's
If
just
you
say,
prefer to go with Tesla, we'll give you a Tesla. It's
sure, because
people
a
like
lot of people they love the Tesla name, they love it.
absolutely.
So like, let's just say that I have a commercial building, right? Let's just say I
Yeah.
have 100,000 square foot
Mhm.
warehouse, right? I want to put as many panels as I can up on the roof, right? Because it's not going
Absolutely.
to hurt anything, right? And the clear height from the inside is like 25 feet. So you know
Yeah.
the outside of the eave is probably 30-35 feet in the air,
Yeah.
right? Depending on what's under the roof. What panels would you go with for something like that? And can you daisy chain batteries? Like, can you connect the batteries to where
Yes.
they can all feed each other? And like,
Absolutely.
how many can you like
I don't
do?
like the term daisy chain, but you can set up a
I'm a
multi.
layman, so like that's like you know
Yeah,
what I mean. You're gonna
yeah,
connect the
absolutely.
batteries so that they feed into each other.
Yeah, we could set up multiple batteries and all over the place. I I would actually kind of something like that. I would set up two separate systems independent of each other in case one side goes
In
out.
case one goes down.
Yeah,
Huh.
but that's the way I would
Very
do it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Warehouse is a controlled climate. See, these are the questions we have to ask you. So it needs
Hmm.
controlled climate. You need the HVAC. That means you're going to need more battery space. So
Okay.
that we'll size out how much battery space you need to get you through the night. And, you might have to give up some of your lighting in order to for HVAC, but
Right, right.
also employee
But
safety, these things
right. Yeah,
what
life
your,
safety
what
and stuff.
your overnight needs are as far as
So that's a good question. So a company, because this is a business and it's a
Mhm.
commercial application, it's not a residential application, so it's not a home. I guess they would have to tell you how
Mhm.
long they need to run if everything goes out. Okay, so let's just say worst case scenario, this is a company that runs 3 shifts,
Yeah,
right? And they cannot lose power throughout the night, right? They have to last until the sun comes out. Is that possible?
absolutely.
Okay.
And we'd have
What
to look
about
at the particulars of the building. We'd have to look at how
right?
much power, how big is the AC unit, any refrigeration needs, things like that. And we do this at True Texas Solar. A
Yep.
lot of
Right.
door knockers by solar are afraid to have these conversations because they
Right.
don't have the know-how.
Right. That's why we're having this conversation because I know you know how to do this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say that let's say it's a commercial application again
Hmm.
because it's what I know, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say they have three-phase power.
We can
How
do
do
that.
these things work in three? So they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'd have to make some tweaks to the system, but we've done
Uh huh.
three-phase before.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that brings it to a whole different ballgame because now factories,
Mhm.
assembly plants, fabrication facilities, this is gonna turn the switch, right? The light bulb's gonna go off because
Yeah.
they're gonna say, wait a second. Not only do we get backup power, but we can also save on our bill,
Hmm.
which some of these bills are huge
Mhm.
Yeah.
because I do turnkey real estate, right? So
Yes.
I'll if somebody hires me on a turnkey basis, I will literally build a building from the ground up. If they bought a piece of land with me, I would do the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So
And it's
I see
easy for us to design it in,
right,
so
right.
into the build. We've done
Some
it
of
with
these
several houses. We've done it with a few businesses.
yeah, some of these industrial electric bills would
Yeah.
choke you.
Mhm.
Like it's
Absolutely.
ridiculous. Like everyone thinks that their house
Mhm.
electric bill is crazy. Oh my god, it doesn't even shine a light. I
Yeah.
mean, some of these people pay like
Thousands.
thousands and
Yeah.
thousands of dollars, like 10,000 plus. So that's pretty crazy. And
Yeah.
and I
And
bet you a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. I'm going to add to this a little bit. So Rob's already said we do commercial, and yeah, our proprietor Josh, knows the residential and commercial inside and out, and we do a decent number of commercial projects. So we
Mhm.
understand that scale, and you're talking about those fun electric bills for sure.
Uh-huh.
We've a big thing that we talk about with people is having that backup power plan as well, along with having it as part of your normal energy equation. And
Right.
so the one thing I wanted to mention is that the panels are, doesn't really matter which company you buy from, the panels now are really strong. And so we've had hailstorms, and we've reached back out to, whether it's a homeowner or a business, we've reached out, and there's literally been almost no degradation of the efficiency that they're getting. And we're talking about hail hitting them. And then you've got the high winds with hurricanes. So that's a big thing with people. Okay, I believe in this, but we're having 125 mile an hour winds, or maybe there's hail one day. How are things going to be? And we can confidently say that you are going to have a system that will work.
So these things are a lot stronger than they used to be.
Yeah.
All right. Real talk.
Yeah, real talk.
I'm trying to get my roof replaced because I've got a bit of storm damage over time. My insurance company is dragging their feet on it because the solar panels have protected half the roof and half the roof
Man,
pristine panels.
That's 22.
Okay. That's I see what you're saying. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that the insurance company lucked out because you got strong solar panels on your roof. Got it. That's always lovely to hear. So real talk, let's just say somebody calls you guys out for a consultation to put a system together.
Absolutely.
What's the turnaround? How long before they make that initial call until the time you got a switch with sustainable energy power in your place?
Well, right now it's going to be a little bit longer because people are trying to get their systems in by the end of the year because there's tax incentives that are
tax incentives.
Yeah. Typically, it takes us about a month to 6 weeks to get in, and it matters on the permitting from the local municipal.
The municipality, the authorities,
So we handle that. That's on us.
Okay, so you guys do that too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We handle all the permitting.
So it's literally a one-stop shop.
Yes. It takes us time to get through that, and some municipalities are better than others. So
I know that.
Yeah.
So 4 to 6 weeks, typically, not under certain, special situations,
circumstances. Yes.
That's actually really surprising. I thought you were going to say a lot longer than that. I thought you were going to say like 2-3 months.
No.
So you can engineer the system, plan it out, like design it, and get it installed relatively quickly. Wow, that's pretty cool.
And we have people who say, "Hey, find me a retailer, find me a buyback program." But it's in a way, it's almost turnkey. We'll do
that.
Yeah.
You do that too?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. We sit down with our customers. We're the only company that does this because we sit down with their customers and show them the list of options that they have and go with their system and help them decide what works best. It is their decision.
Right.
Yeah, and we just had a customer come back to us. He's had his system about 3 weeks. He didn't like his buyback plan, and we sat down with them, and he ultimately chose to get out of the one he had and go to the nights and weekends plan, and it's working out better for them.
So that's a good question. You have to sign a buyback plan with somebody that's on the grid, right?
Yes.
Somebody who sells to the grid.
Yeah.
Can you get out of that? Obviously you can.
Yes. It's just like getting out of any other plan that your power buying plan. Just like
I'm sure some of these people are going to have like some sort of a nominal buyout fee.
Buyout plan. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting because I didn't know because one of the particular buildings that I repped, they couldn't. It was in a different state, but they couldn't get out of the buyback plan. Yeah. So that's good to know. So if you're at least in Texas and you put a solar system in and you sign up with one of these companies that sell your energy back to the grid, you can get yourself out of that. That's good to know.
Now, for industrial and commercial buildings, we may be able to set up with an independent power purchase agreement. Something that's a little more enticing to the solar provider.
Is that because of the amount of energy it produces?
Absolutely.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, because it's sizable. It's not a small amount of energy. So those power companies are like, yeah, bring it over here because that's money we're making off of energy we didn't make.
Yeah,
correct.
And I've been in a lot of these plants, and I know how it's made, and it ain't cheap.
Yeah, and they're having to basically buying from a plant, reselling to the customer at a higher rate. They could
Mhm.
buy from one customer, sell to another customer at a higher rate,
Right.
or to another company
Now,
at a higher rate.
total sidebar. Have you guys ever been in like any one of these generation stations?
I have, yes.
Yeah, I have not.
How cool is it? How cool is it?
I've been in the space industry. Everything's cool.
Right. So I went to I can't name any names, NDAs and stuff like that, but I went to a station that they sent energy over water, underwater.
Yes.
So they would get the power in from the manufacturing plant, the nuke plant, right?
Yeah.
And it would come in AC,
Hmm.
and then they would convert it to DC,
Hmm.
send it under the water, and then
Yeah.
they would get it on the other side and convert it back into
Yeah.
AC. And the first time you see all that equipment and you hear it running,
Yeah. It's quite something, isn't it?
that'll make you shit your pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And they
in
probably
other
sent it
words,
AC over under the water, but I just had to say that. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
probably, I think you got it reversed, but anyway. Um,
It's some conversion,
yeah.
whatever conversion it is, DC to AC. You're
Yeah.
probably right.
Yeah.
I
But
mean, they only
there,
brought me in to sell the equipment, so
yeah,
I don't
and that
know.
there's just power provide, we feel a kinship with each other. And,
Hmm.
when I talk to potential customers who happen to be in the oil and gas industry, believe it or not, yeah, a lot of them are like, "Oh, I'm oil and gas. I don't want to stray away from oil and gas." But
Right.
there is a kinship between us.
Well, like now Shell and all of these big guys, they have all of these sustainability,
Shell
spin-offs
does
and
has a power buyback plan.
yeah, yeah.
You can sell your electricity to Shell off your solar panels.
And their check is good.
Absolutely.
All right, so let me ask you guys the $64 million question, okay?
Okay.
Everything what you said sounds great, right? It sounds
Mhm.
awesome. You have a sustainable energy source. I mean, the sun's never going out of business, right?
Yeah.
So you have sustainable energy source. You can use it as a backup power source. You're going to save money on your bill. Why isn't every home in America set up with solar panels?
Well, the answer is because either you pay the upfront cost and it is not the cheapest thing. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars just for a home system,
Mm-hmm.
or you finance it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we finance, what we do is we try to offset your current power bill with the cost of the panels while
Mm-hmm.
zeroing out your current electric bill. You still have to have an electric bill because state law dictates you have to be connected to the grid.
Right, right.
And I'm not going to argue against that law by any means.
No.
But that means you also have to pay at least a nominal fee to your provider. There is the First of all, you have to own the home.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
There's
limited
a lot
number
of lot of people that don't. A lot of people
yeah.
that don't.
Second of all, you have to have good credit in order to get financing, or you have to pay for it up front.
Mm-hmm.
So there are gates you have to go through to make this work for yourself. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
good investment, but there's just some levels of credit that not everybody qualifies for.
So that
Now,
makes sense. Now,
we've had special loans for people who were lower income to get a
okay.
smaller system. We do have those available, but that's, limited availability. So I think that's basically it. It's that the upfront cost of
That
it
makes
and
sense.
the fact that you have to finance it
Yeah.
is what's
If you
holding.
don't have the money to pay for it outright.
Yeah, correct.
So do you guys have financing channels to finance these things?
Absolutely, we do. We have
Okay.
several to choose from. Yeah.
You
And
guys
one thing, if you're
got
watching
everything.
this and you've gotten a bid for solar before from the by solar door knockers,
Mm-hmm.
and they're selling you good panels, they're actually selling you good equipment. But
Mm-hmm.
what they aren't telling you is when they finance it, they're going to give you a system value of 30,000, but the lender is adding on another 30% as dealer fees.
Okay.
So they're going to give you a low monthly payment, but they're selling you $30,000 worth of equipment for $36,000.
So they're given the door knocker or some juice.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's
No.
just that they're hiding these extra fees from their customers. So some of
So they're not
our
being honest.
options so they'll come out, they'll say, oh, it's a very low APR, but they're not going to tell you that it's a ridiculous fee
Mm-hmm.
to get that APR. Whereas we will be upfront and say, okay, you can have a lower APR, but you're going to have this, this amount of fees, or you can have a
Mm-hmm.
little bit higher APR with zero fees. Almost always comes out, pay the higher APR.
Right. But just be honest about it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because, we have Texas integrity is what we like to say.
No, that's a good point. So really and truthfully, True Texas Solar covers it all.
Yes.
It literally takes every freaking headache off of your plate.
And let's not forget, we're an established roofing company.
Right.
It's a big part of our business, and that's important, because if solar slows down, if things happen, we're not walking away from customers. They're not going to get a phone that keeps on ringing. There's not going to be an empty office. We're
right.
We're family owned.
You're legit. You guys are not going anywhere.
Yep.
So that's actually a good point. So like, let's just say that someone doesn't have panels, but they've got a bad roof.
Yeah.
You guys do that too.
Absolutely. We're the
best. It's also a good opportunity. If you're replacing the roof, you might as well, try and get some panels on it.
Yeah, the one thing I like about Josh, the one thing I like about Josh's philosophy is that we know everybody's not going to choose solar. One thing that we're a bit flexible with, and I want to make sure we add, is that if somebody wants a system where they have a Generac and a battery, we'll do that. It's what the customer wants. And we talk to people and they're like, I don't think I'm going to do solar. And we're like, do you have a generator? Do you have a backup plan? They're like, yes. We're like, we love you. That's great. It's not a hard sell from us. We love doing the business. Sure, we want to make a note and keep the lights on, but just making sure that people know that we think it's great that they've just done something. Yeah.
So do you guys don't install the generators, like the Generacs, the natural? Yes. Oh, you do?
You do, yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Okay, so potentially, if you had both, there's no way you lose in a storm.
Right.
In a named storm that comes through, you have solar and you have some sort of a generator source. You're not losing.
Yeah. So the solar, battery, and generator, we call that the trifecta, and that is the best.
It's the Holy Trinity.
The
Holy Trinity and energy.
Yeah.
So I was here when Beryl came through.
Yes.
Right. And I was actually in the process of moving here, and I was in a Marriott courtyard. No shout out to Marriott. Those guys suck. Beryl comes through, and we didn't know any different. They had a generator, probably natural gas, right? And it ran the whole place. We didn't see any difference, right? Yeah. We had TV, we had AC, we had everything. Then the next day, for whatever reason, probably because the generators were so damn old, they cacked out, right? Mm-hmm. So now we have no lights, we have no HVAC, we got no elevators, we have nothing, right? And we get down on the ground, and Pearland looked like a freaking river. I mean, there was just water everywhere. I've never seen, and I've lived in Miami. I've lived in South Florida. I've seen some hurricanes.
Yeah.
I've never seen a storm come through and snap power poles from the base.
Yes.
The entire damn pole was on the road, right? So I've never seen that before. These things can get pretty tough, right? So that hotel was without power for like 2.5 days. Mm-hmm. A lot of people around Pearland, because they were, a big hotel, a big brand name hotel, Centerpoint got them up and running real quick.
Yes.
But I talked to some of the people around there. They didn't have power for like up to 2 weeks after that. So like you're out of power for a week and a half, 2 weeks. It's a good thing to have solar and a generator.
Yeah.
You're not missing a beat.
Absolutely.
You've got AC, you've got lights, you've got everything. Mm-hmm. And depending on who your internet provider is, you might have internet too.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Guys, if somebody wanted to get a system, like how do they reach out to True Texas Solar?
You can call myself at 281-451-8577, or David, give your number.
Sure, they can call me at.
And what's the web address if they're interested?
Okay, it's truetexassolar.com.
TrueTexasSolar.com.
Yeah, and you could also message our office directly. See, and
That's all. Yeah, just one word: True Texas Solar.
That is awesome. I love it.
mm-hmm.
Guys, this was like so enlightening. I learned so many things about solar and
Mm-hmm.
how this is all done. And we are definitely going to be playing in the field together.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to my commercial applications.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody wants to know out there, this Buffalo Trace cigar sucks ass. Don't even this damn thing like died on me 3 times. So bad review on the Buffalo Trace cigar, because after all, this is a cigar podcast. But I really appreciate you gentlemen coming on and taking your time and coming on the podcast. We'll do this again. I mean, because this was a lot of fun, and I'm sure there's some more stuff that we can learn.
Yeah, and you said there's always a few other items to talk about. There is a bourbon that dips their bottle neck in red wax, and also makes a cigar where they dip it in red wax. I think people could figure it out. I believe that cigar is quite good. So next time we do this,
I'm gonna look at. So I could say it. Shout out to Maker's Mark.
Okay, there you go. Right.
So we're gonna be checking that out next time. Let's get something on the schedule, guys. We'll get back at it because this was a lot of fun.
This was great, and we appreciate you having us on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Angela. We appreciate it.
Guys.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. All righty.
I'll see you at the next event.
You got it.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.